Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. We did it. We made it to the Saturday Dream Sequence launch stream. My goodness, it feels like we've been working on this thing for since the last challenge, rather. Because we've been cranking on this thing. It's been a lot of work to get to this point, and it feels so good to be launched. You know, there might be some little fires here and there that need to be put out, but we'll deal with those on Monday. I'm excited to be here with you guys. What are we doing? We're tackling our 12th 3D community challenge. And on this live stream, I'm going to answer your guys' questions. We're going to look at the starter files together. We're going to hop into Blender. Oh yeah, I kind of switched to Blender. I've been using it for the past 3 months or so. I love it. It's the best. So we're gonna hop into Blender. We're going to make a custom animation template together, a camera template, because this time you can actually make your own camera template, which is crazy. It's the first time that we've done this, so there's a lot of figuring out rules and many like multi-hour long Discord sessions with the challenge team trying to figure out, can I do this? Can I do that? No, but we're like breaking our own challenge. It's crazy. But yes, I want to make sure that you guys get started just all right and everything. Everyone sounding good, looking good. I think we're set. What's up, everybody? Welcome. I can't wait to dive in. I'll give a little bit more info and background on the challenge and all that good stuff. We have a sponsor to thank for this live stream. So Montage, he's gonna throw it over and we'll see you guys in like a minute or so.
What is a professional musician without their instrument? A racer without their car? Or an artist without their rig? If you're a digital artist looking to upgrade your computer, then listen up, because Puget Systems is the sponsor of today's live stream. Puget Systems builds custom workstations that are designed specifically for what you do, whether that's 3D art, video editing, visual effects, music production, or game development. They built me my rig 5 years ago, and it's still handling all my 4K edits, real-time renders, photo scans, and simulations like they're nothing. They built my workstation based off of my specific needs and gave me daily updates on its build progress. It arrived ready to boot straight out the box, came with a bunch of spare cables and parts, and a direct number to a real person at their tech support service. So if y'all are thinking about going the custom route this year, I cannot recommend Puget Systems enough. Click that link down in the description to get on the phone with a Puget professional to see if a custom rig makes sense for you.
Hey, what's up? Shout outs to Puget. They seriously are the best. This rig, man, my God, wouldn't be here without this rig. It's the best. They pros over there. Shout outs to DJ. All right, y'all. We're in it. It's time to hang out. It's time to brainstorm ideas. It's time to talk about where to start. We're gonna talk about these starter files. Where do we begin? If you guys have any questions, by the way, throw them up here. We'll take a look and answer them for you guys. But just a little backstory. So we always try and do something different with these challenges. We don't want every challenge to be the character walking challenge. We've done that a lot of times. So we wanted to mix it up. And I had this idea to do like an abstract challenge. Like that's how it started, was an abstract challenge and you have a tempo. And we crunched it. We brainstormed it for I think this idea was like years old at this point. But we kind of remixed it and tweaked it and got it up to this point, which is what you guys are seeing now. And I don't know, I just think it would be really fun, and I'm gonna have fun with it. I'm very excited. And yeah, I don't know, I'm such a big fan of music. I'm a drummer myself, and since middle school, basically. Last year, I started learning Touch Designer as well, which is a program that lets you make visuals that react to any audio. It also reacts to a bunch of other stuff you throw in, And I had so much fun with that. I was like, you know, it's time to do this. So hence us being here today. Now, I see a lot of you in chat saying the Blender file is broken. Now, I look at that and I think, oh God, the Blender file is broken. I also see some of you saying the Blender file is fine. So if you have any issues, technical issues that need to be fixed from us on the Discord server linked below, I'm sure all of you are on the Discord at this point, you can make a ticket and we'll take care of stuff. This weekend, we're going to kind of we're going to see how things go. And by Monday, we'll probably have a couple updates for you guys. We want to make sure that everything is as technically sound as it can be for everybody. We want it to be as easy as possible for y'all to start this thing. Why don't we have 3ds Max? Why don't we have Houdini? Well, because we ask you guys what programs you use when you submit your submissions. And the percentage of people, Blender is 80%. Everyone's using Blender. So, okay, Blender file. I think Unreal Engine is like 15 or 20%. So, okay, Unreal Engine. Cinema 4D is down there. Maya is even further down. Houdini is further down. So we're like, and 3ds Max, right? So let's prioritize the most used programs. There's FBX files, right? So you can use those, bring into Maya to bring into et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that's why we don't make every single program. One note on the Cinema 4D file, I ain't gonna lie. I was up till 1 a.m., 1:30 last night, finishing all of this stuff, finishing the edit. So the Cinema 4D file, it only has 3 of the 9 cameras, but we're gonna get you with the rest of them. I just need a little bit more time with it. We busy. There's a lot of things. There's too many things. We got you guys. We got you guys. Hang in there. I promise we'll be there for you. Blender file works if you open Blender first. Crashed when I tried to open it directly. Interesting. Interesting. So I made this in Blender 4.2. Yep. I made the project file in Blender 4.2. So I don't know if that helps y'all, but let's see. Yeah. I don't know. Hard to say what that issue is there. But again, make a ticket. We're gonna kind of let everything even out, and it might just be some one-off issues that you might be having. But let's see. Let's take a look at these project files. All you guys are up in there. Soto, if we want to switch over here, let's get Blender up. All right, here we are. Yes, indeed. All right. So in cameras, we have 9 different cameras. We can hop into one of these. Right, the cube is there for reference to see where we're moving. Let's go ahead and go into this normal speed one. And yes, we have 3 different speeds for our camera templates. There's the normal speed, which we're on right now. There's the fast speed template, and there's the slow template. Now, this fast one is hitting all of our on-beat keyframes. The normal one is basically half speed, and the slow one is quarter speed, essentially, right? And then the reason that there's 9 different ones is because we're just interpolating the movement, the camera movement differently, right? So if you look down below here, you can see the interpolation of that normal one versus the interpolation of this linear one, right? Very, very linear. And then we have this like snappy looking one here. Let's go into the snappy. And you can kind of see that these like ramp very quickly. Right, so they're just 3 different feels for y'all. We got some questions. Let's see here. Okay, you're saying that the Blender crash may be because the person has an older Blender version. They can change it in preferences. It's not an issue with you. All Blender files crash if you open them directly. What? They do? You have to open them from within Blender. It might be an issue in recent Blender versions, I think. That's interesting. I've never had that problem before. Huh. So yeah, I mean, at first, when you see this template, you're like, what the heck do I do? And Visual put together these great example renders. We can go through them together here. Let's do that. Shall we? Let's open DaVinci. We can loop them together. So I'm expecting, I don't know, there's always our expectation versus what you guys end up doing. The challenge kind of takes a shape of its own, right? We can't force a certain outcome. We can have an outcome in mind when we're making these templates, but you guys ultimately decide what these final montages look like, right? Let us go into here and let's go ahead and pull these example renders for you guys. Beep boop bop. Here we go. Example renders, examples. These should come with music. I don't know. Sotomonte, can you mute the stream music and like, so we can listen to this music? Is that possible? I don't even know where that audio is. Where is that audio coming from? Huh? I have no idea where that audio is coming from. That, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, that's why. Okay, that's better. I don't know how loud that is on stream, but you know. All right, let's loop this. So this was Visual's first example render, his first test. And yeah, I think this totally works. It's a full scene. I was thinking abstract, like everything's abstract, but he started putting together these full scenes and I was like, okay, this is actually good because not everyone's going to do an abstract render. They're going to do something that involves characters and environments and whatnot. And this is certainly possible. You might look at our templates and be like, oh, how could I do that? And it's because you can make your own template essentially, which we're going to do together here on the stream very soon. I want to show you guys how I'm doing that. Let's take a look. Fair. Here's an example of the normal speed, right? And I went over all this stuff in the announcement video, but you can see, you can see how basically we're asking you guys to animate, visualize the beat every 15 frames, right? It's at 30 frames per second. And even though the camera is being animated at the normal speed, half of those frames, the other half of those frames are being visualized by the doors opening. So yeah, I don't know, like a hall of doors or something, bunch of sci-fi doors opening, or like maybe you're in some sort of elevator shaft. I don't know. This one is a different take on it, right? We're using the slow camera, but the cars are being animated every 15 frames, so you're feeling the beat every 15 frames. He also took the camera and pointed it at a 45-degree angle, which is definitely something that you guys can do. You can change the camera's initial orientation. We just want to make sure we're snapping at 90-degree angles. And then he put together last night, on his birthday of all days, he put together this abstract one, nice and quick for us, just to give us an idea of like what something like that would look like. And I don't know, what comes to my mind is like the Matrix pod fields, something like this. I don't know. So there's lots you guys can do here. I'm very excited to see what you do. It's all good. It's all good, guys. We don't need the music to get that one across. It does not have to be a loop. That's a great question. Sozy CGI, it does not have to loop, but it certainly can. It certainly can. Absolutely. Let's see, if you guys have a question for me, hit me with an @pwnisher up. I can see a little bit faster. Greg in the, oh, what's up, Craig? Shout outs. The founder of Derivative, Mr. Touch Designer himself. He's asking, in the final music track, how will it change throughout the song? So, I mean, I would expect this to be like a techno DJ set, right? We're gonna go through 2, 3, maybe 4 different vibes in the top 100 montage. Everything synced to the beat at 120 BPM. Brooks Aleksander, shout outs to him. Good friend, very talented musician. He's putting together the music. He put together the two, like all the music you guys have heard basically up to this point, those 2 1-minute loops that you'll find in the starter files under the resources folder. He put those together for you guys so you can use those 2 looping 120 BPM tracks to kind of guide your creation this month. You don't have to make art that fits that vibe. Like, that's kind of why we have the Spotify playlist. We also have a YouTube playlist as well for those of you who don't have Spotify. But that playlist is something that me and Brooks are using as like, hey, this vibe is cool, this vibe is cool. It's kind of a bunch of different vibes that the final top 100 music can sound like. We're trying not to do sound-alikes. We're just doing using that playlist as reference for vibes. But I figured it would be an important tool for you all to have while you create, to get in the mindset this month. All right, let's see. Yes, Aaron. All right. Even if the camera timing is spot on, what are some examples of don'ts that will mess up the rhythm and the flow of the montage? That's a really good question. So basically, let me show you these good, bad examples. I can go over this section of the edit again with the good and bad examples. Yeah, because they happen pretty quick in the video. Let me loop this moment. All right, Soto, if you want to... Oh, he's already switched over. Beautiful. All right. So the question is, yeah, if the camera timing is spot on, what are some examples of don'ts that will mess up the rhythm enough to break the montage flow? Now, the camera, if the cameras are spot on, like, I don't think it's gonna break the flow, but the example on the left isn't visualizing the beat, right? So you can see how the camera is still hitting on frame 0, 60, and 120, right? But those cars aren't visualizing frame 15, frame 30, frame 45, frame 75, 90, and 105. They're just linearly sliding through the scene. If you were to look at that, you wouldn't really feel a beat, like if you turned off the music, right? The one on the right is doing a good job of this. The camera is snapping, right? Correctly. And this is the slow camera, by the way. This isn't the normal or the fast camera, it's the slow camera. But those cars are kind of filling in those missing beats, right? And you can feel the beat a bit more. So I guess that's an example of how your camera can be correct, but your scene isn't doing the best job of following rule 1, which is visualizing the beat. So I hope that makes sense for you. The YouTube playlist, the YouTube music playlist, if you go to our Discord and you go to get started, it's where you like click the link or click the button to get your role on the Discord server. It should open up all of the Dream Sequence channels for you, the discussion. There's places to show your work, get feedback, all that good stuff. In that get started section, there's the YouTube playlist with all the sweet music. Visual, if you're here, can you just drop that in the chat for people so they have it? Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good. We'll show the website here in a sec. Yeah, so I don't want to get deep into AI here. It's never fun, honestly. But yeah, we're allowing Rococo, Rococo Vision, Rococo Move. In our discussions, we felt that was fair versus completely generative, generated animation. So that's all I'll say on that. But let's take a look at the website. Pull it up. Stand by. Ah, yes. Wonderful. Full screen mode. All right, so yeah, you're gonna get hit with the website. This is where you're gonna go. You guys probably have already been here, but we'll give you the tour, the MTV Cribs tour here. This countdown is always going, by the way, and there's gonna be a submission link halfway through the challenge on February 13th, in 2 weeks from now. We want you guys to focus on your art. We don't want you to worry about submitting immediately. So don't worry about the submission link. It'll be here in about 2 weeks. We got a bunch of stuff for you, announcement video, guidelines. We got, a little pitch on the challenge here. You can go and, oh, it's loud. You can click the rules and get examples of what we're talking about, a little bit more description for each of these rules. This comes straight from the announcement video. The camera specs are here. We're gonna make some custom cameras on the stream here pretty soon. And we're going to follow these guidelines because I know a lot of you guys are going to want to make your own custom camera animations for this. We just want to make sure that you're doing it in the proper way. That's probably going to be one of the biggest things on the stream here. We'll make a few of those. We got a bunch of prizes, y'all. A ton of prizes. Shout outs to the sponsors for making these things possible. Yeah, it's freaking sweet. It's crazy. What a prize pot. Let's see. We got judges. We got musicians. This is where you guys are going to find yourself down here with the template. Download the template. We got free for the month stuff. Marvelous, Touch Designer, Gnomon, Kitbash, Fox Render Farm. There is different instructions on how to get this stuff. And we got discounts and a bunch of FAQs. You guys are going to be reading these. I highly suggest you read these FAQs. They're going to help you. Stuff like, do I have to visualize every on-beat keyframe in my scene? The answer is yes, especially if you choose the slow or normal camera speeds. And that's like the car example I was showing you guys. What else? Does my animation have to loop? No, but we always welcome looping renders. Camera, there's lots of good stuff in here. Can I mix and match speeds? Yes, if you choose slow or normal camera speeds, don't forget to visualize the missing beats with the rest of your scene. Lots of good stuff in here. Make yourself familiar with those FAQs. We got the schedule for y'all. You can download Google Calendars, get them plugged in so you don't miss stuff. Shout outs to the team. All right, so that's the site. And let's take a look at chat here. Let's see if we got any good questions. What do you do exactly? You're so confused. Well, I would start by watching the announcement video. I would start by going and downloading the project file, getting a sense of it. And if this is your first challenge, if you have never heard of these challenges before, take a look at the top 100 montages. Yeah. If you're talking about creatively, it might take some time to sit with the templates and come up with some ideas. You guys don't have to have an idea right now. It might feel like a race right in the beginning, but some people take a full week to come up with an idea before they get started, because a lot of, I don't know, it really comes down to what your goal is this month. People use these challenges to learn how to use a certain program, a certain tool. People also do these challenges as just a fun thing to do with the community. You can do them for both reasons. Also, people do these challenges to try and go for that top 100 spot. A lot of people do that. So it really depends on what you're trying to do. If you have no idea what to do creatively, sit with it. You don't have to have an idea right out the gates, guys. It's okay to sit with it. I really want to make something for this challenge. I don't know what I'm going to do. I've had a handful of ideas, something like looking up at a radio tower from underneath. The grid kind of gave me that vibe, and it's like spinning and pushing up into this radio tower. I've thought of elevator shafts moving through like a maze of elevator shafts or air ducts. Completely abstract stuff. Bunch of blocks, different colored blocks moving around symmetrically. This is actually one of the rare challenges where you don't necessarily have to have a sweeping storyline to make something impressive. I want to lean into the abstract nature of this. Some of you will make a bunch of scenes with characters and story. That's okay. And we can't really predict what you guys are going to do. I'm excited to make something abstract. I want to do something abstract, so yeah. We need to make a template together. I'm looking at these questions though. Shafi's asking, how do I time the music or visualize it? That's a good question. So if you follow rule number 1, which is visualize the beat, and then we have those keyframes there, all of these cameras are kind of set up to visualize the beat, okay? So you don't have to predict, oh, there's going to be a hi-hat here, and there's going to be a snare drum here, and here. Don't like that. That's too granular. There's no way we can predict if you're even going to be in the top 100, and if you are in that exact spot where the music that doesn't exist now will be there later. Like, there's no way. It's techno music. The bass is always kicking, right? So that's why we gave you guys those reference, like example tracks in the project file. You can use those and to get a sense of how the camera moves with the kick drum. So just trust that the bass is always going to be kicking, okay? We're talking techno, trance, dub techno, house music, right? The bass is always kicking, y'all. All right, let's see. All right, Nova, I'm gonna shout you out here because I feel you, man. I feel you. I'm just gonna read it. Don't stress. Nova says if you're feeling overworked, take a break. They've had some self-inflicted anxiety attacks. Hey, I'm right there with you. This week was a rough week getting to this point. It was stressful. It was too much work. And I think emotionally paid the price. But I'm just happy. I'm happy to be here. It's all good. It's all fine. So yeah, I'm chilling. I'm hitting the tea house this weekend. I'm hitting the spa this weekend because I need a break. I need to get out of this so that I can come back and refreshed, guys. So yeah, shout outs to Nova. Don't be afraid to take that break. We also had some super chats out here. I see you guys. Jonathan says the challenge kind of reminds you of Hi-Fi Rush. I don't know what Hi-Fi Rush is. Maybe I'll listen to it. Maybe I'll see it. I don't know. Check it out. And there was one way back up at the top. I can't even scroll that far. But that person who super chatted, like at the beginning of the stream, thank you. I appreciate you. Tomas, that's actually insane if that's true. I don't know if you a bot. I don't know if you're ever just speaking generally, but if you're actually talking for real, that's crazy. I'm amped for you. Greg, yes, thank you, my friend. No, people do not need to include a music track with their submission. This is a common FAQ that we have. Another reason for y'all to check out the website, go to the FAQs, take a look at them. They're gonna help you out. They're gonna answer a lot of questions you guys are gonna have. But no, you can include music. We're just not gonna use it. We're gonna mute it because Brooks Aleksander is making the music that's gonna be in the top 100 montage. And for the all renders montage, I'm gonna be pulling a bunch of 120 BPM tracks so that all you guys are synced together. So if you want to include music, please do so. Definitely listen to music when you're making your renders this month. They're gonna help you out. Seriously, put on that playlist, close your eyes, and just listen. A lot of ideas come to me this way. Go for a drive, turn on this playlist, and put on your own music, whatever. And get inspired by listening to music. It's very helpful. Go on walks, listen to music. We're all visual artists, right? So it's a really great tool. It's a really, really great tool. But no, you don't have to include it in your final submission. Raz, You are correct, my friend. The grid is there as reference. If it wasn't there, the cameras would be moving and you would just see gray, nothing but gray. So the grid is there as reference. It does not need to be included in any of your submissions. It's not in any of the rules. Like, you don't see grid must be in the thing. But if it inspires you to do a thing, which it's inspired me to come up with a few ideas, then please use it. By all means, use the grid if it's feeling good with y'all. 100%. Folio, thank you, my friend. We will pin your message. I can't pin it for some reason. One of you guys will have to pin it. Yes, one of you guys will have to pin that. But that's a good one. That's a good one. Thank you, Mr. Folio. Shout outs to Folio, who made like the whole website and all the design stuff, visual. Shout outs to you, Visual, for making so much of this art, launching this challenge, all the robots like in the warehouse. If you followed our puzzle, which was a Folio special, he worked hard on that puzzle. You guys solved it in like 3-ish days. Yeah, Visual and Folio, shout outs to you guys. Like, so good, man. So good. Shout outs to Sotomonte. He's been a busy boy, doing some really cool VFX and 3D jobs. He's almost out of college, and he is behind the scenes right now producing these live streams. So shout outs to you, Sotomonte. We got Saipo. Shout outs to Saipo helping on the website, helping out with some templates as well. Ronan, my friend, also a busy boy, but he's there for us when he can be. He's really good with helping us work through the wording a lot of our rules and our FAQs. Who am I missing? I'm missing someone. Connor helped out a little bit. He's in the mix. I think he's in Korea right now. He'll be back very soon. And yes, good times await. I don't know what I'm saying. Let's answer one more question and then let's make a template together, because a lot of you are going to be making custom templates. Yes, you can use green screen plates. That's totally fine. Yeah, that's cool. Where can you access the Dream Sequence inspired playlist? If you download the starter files. You know what? We're doing it. Let's do this. Sotomonte, if you don't mind switching over to the desktop-y, I will show you these starter files. Well, right here, this is what you're going to see. It's the tiniest screen one could imagine. Here, that's a little bit better. We got resources, we got templates, right? All your templates, bam, right there. We got the landing page right there. If you go to resources and you go to music, we got the 2 tracks from Brooks right here, these 120 BPM loops to help you with your submission this month. And we got the inspiration playlist, boom, just 2 links, YouTube playlist. Here, let's copy it. We'll paste it in chat. Dream Sequence inspired playlist. Bam. Get it? Good question. Are you guys making all the camera speeds or just one? No, you're just making one. The 9 different cameras. Think of it like this. If you did moving meditations, we gave you guys 26, far too many, animations, mocap animations. And you could pick one of them and make your moving meditations render with. This is the same thing. We're giving you 9 different camera animation vibes, and I believe rule 2 says pick one. Yeah, rule 2 says pick one of the provided camera animation templates or make your own by following our camera specs. So no, you just need to make one. You don't have to make all of them. Yes, camera shake is allowed. That is totally fine. Also a classic FAQ. This is good. It gives me, it brings peace to my soul that you guys are asking all of the FAQ questions. Because it means that that we predicted some of these questions. But guys, read the rules, check the FAQs. You'll be doing yourself the biggest favor. Can the character interact with the environment, walking through water ripples, or should the ground plane stay strictly non-reactive? No, guys, that is 100% creative. That's on you. Have fun with it. Yes, of course the character can interact with the environment. That'll be freaking sweet. I love it. Can we zoom in and back out again? Say going through the door, then coming back out? I mean, if it fits the montage and if it feels right, I guess we didn't technically think about zooms, but we did say your focal length can change. So that would mean you can zoom. So yeah, for sure. Garrett, good question. This is also one we've been back and forth on. I am not the... I'm technically breaking our own rule by answering this question. Because what I'm not going to do is answer every... Is this tool okay? Is this tool okay? Is this tool okay? We actually have an FAQ that says, is this tool okay? Is this tool okay? We cannot confirm if one tool is okay versus another for every single one. But in this case, we talked a lot about it. And I believe, Ronan, correct me if I'm wrong. I think, or was it Folio? Yes, Folio was saying in-betweening is okay. You're making the keyframe animations and it's going between them. That's fine. But Cascader has another setup where like you put your character on the ground and then 200 frames later they're on a building and you hit go and it like animates the whole character and they climb up the building. Like, no, that would be completely generative animation, which would not be allowed. So hopefully that clears it up for you. Can you add depth of field? Yes, you can. It's in the announcement video. Sorry. All right. Let's make a template together. Soto, let's switch this over. Let's do this. Rule 2 says pick one of our templates, camera animation templates, or make your own by following the camera specs. So let's make our own. A lot of you guys are going to do that. I'm going to show you exactly how I made these templates here. I made them in Blender. We can go over the Unreal project file later after this if we need to. I don't even want to think about making this template in Unreal Engine. It's so much easier in Blender. I'm not gonna lie. All right. So let's hide these rules for a sec. Let's hide the reference grid and the cube, okay? Because we just know this stuff is gonna work. Oh, I'm getting used to my tablet again. I learned Blender with the mouse, and now I'm back to the pen tablet. Okay. All right. Let's hide all of these cameras. Blank slate. Okay. So what do we need? We need a camera to do this. And by default, I set this to 90 on the X, 0 on the others. I was also defaulting the camera to 24 millimeters. I think there's a 12 mil. I think there's a 16 mil in the provided cameras. You guys can also change the focal length. That's totally fine. And then what we do is, so we can rotate our camera from here, from this little setup. We can move our camera, of course, right? But I also want to be able to orbit the camera around a certain point if we want. So what I do is Shift A, we'll make an empty. I'll make a sphere. And I'm hitting G to move this thing. We'll move it forward 2 units. You notice I got snapping on, right? So I turn on snapping to the grid. It just makes it a bit easier. Let's also set our scale to 2, because that is basically 1 unit of this grid, right? It's kind of hard to see, but we are in 1 box of this grid. Let's switch over here. And if I were to grab the camera, hit G, and why is snapping? Oh, because my grid is different now. Okay. Anyway, you'd see it like this. If I hit G, it'd snap right like that, as opposed to snapping at the halves. So that's why I set the scale to 2, the grid scale to 2. Just makes life a little bit easier. Okay. And we're just making a simple rig. I'm going to select the camera, shift click this null, this empty. I'm actually going to scale this down a little bit. And control P, we're going to parent this thing. And go blah. Come on. Object, keep transform. So now we have a little rig, right? So we can orbit around a certain point if we want our camera to do that, right? So we know, let's make a fast template together, okay? This thing is 120 frames long, frame 0 to 119. And every 15 frames, we're going to move the camera, okay? So what we'll do is I'm just gonna do pretty much everything from this empty. And if I wanna rotate the camera, I can rotate the camera itself, all right? So let's grab this empty. I'm gonna hit I, make a keyframe for everything here. And let's go forward 15 frames, and we'll just push this forward by 1, hitting G, moving it, hit I. All right, so bam, we're moving forward by 1. Let's go. I'm just randomly doing this too. I'm just randomly choosing the directions. So if you guys want yours to orbit the whole time, that's totally fine. And we'll make another one, but we'll start with 1, okay? Let's rotate this thing on the Z. Why am I not snapping? Rotate Z. Let's go 90. Just type in 90, hit enter. Right, so we move forward, rotate. I'm just gonna keep going. Yeah, frame 45 would be the next one. We'll move up a grid space, go to frame 60. Let's rotate on the X by 90, and so on and so on. Actually, let's not do that for the sake of this. Let's take the camera and rotate 90 on the X. There we go. Right, so that doing it like that, having these two split up, makes it a little bit easier. All right, we'll make another keyframe here. 75. Let's pull back on the X. And we will orbit 90 on the Y. Yep. And let's just push forward on the Y. And finally, we'll take the camera again and do another little spin or something. On the Y, sure. You guys are gonna run into this anyway. So let's delete that. And we're getting that wonkiness. other way around. Try deleting the Y. Oh, it's because we're getting X as well. That works. Yeah, that's totally fine. All right, so we have, if I turn the grid on and we hop into our camera, then we're gonna get something like this. But that's pretty static. We can do better. So what I'm gonna do is select the camera and the empty, hit A down here. And by the way, I'm in the graph editor, okay? Graph editor all the way. We can normalize these to make it easier to see. I'm gonna hit A, select everything, and then hit, you can right click and go to interpolation mode or just hit T. So I'm gonna hit T. I'm gonna set them to constant. So now the camera's just snapping to these points. And then I'm gonna hit T again and change their easing type to exponential. And this is basically how I made every one of these templates. We also have linear, right? So we're moving linearly. The only thing I'm doing in the provided cameras is having these cameras, having the camera stop for the linear variety, right? Because I want a bit more oomph to it. I'll make one of each for you guys. And then there's snappy. I'm doing the snappy one, and I'm just scooting these keyframes up. But for now, let's do this exponential interpolation style here. So from here, once I have this, I'm going to clean things up a little bit. We never want to animate the scale, and the scale honestly is not being animated anyway. So I'll delete those. I'm also going to go through and delete the tracks that aren't being animated, and we're actually using all of them. That's awesome. I'm going to do the same because we're animating the camera too. And I'm just deleting the tracks that we don't need, okay? From here, what I do is add a little bit of wiggle to each one of these hits, to each landing, right? And that just makes it look better, in my opinion. So the wiggle thing took a minute to figure out. And the easiest way to do it is to kind of just go through one track at a time. So like, boom, this would be a point where we would wiggle, but let's start at the beginning. Right here. So the wiggle works in a very specific way. If I want, boom, the camera to shake right here, boom, right? I'll select that keyframe and hit T, and we're gonna hit elastic. All right, and you see it moves the camera here, it shakes the camera, and it stops shaking at the next keyframe. It's very important. It starts on the keyframe that you set it on and stops at the next keyframe. And the way I set up these animations is just like this, where this keyframe is stopped. How do I, this is confusing already. Let me just keep doing this until I run into an issue. Let's do it for this one. All right, so we land, we add some elastic to it. Nothing happens. Why did nothing happen? Hopefully it's because there isn't a keyframe right here. So let's add a keyframe to the selected track, and bam, you see the elastic now kicks in. It only works when there's a keyframe for it to land on. That's kind of what I've found to be true. So just keep that in mind when you're adding these. These are really intense, so I'm gonna select both, hold Alt, and we can change these settings globally. And now we have a little bit of bounce to our keyframes, okay? I'm gonna go through and do this for the rest. So for the X, right, we're gonna hit that elastic. And I'm just typing in settings 0.1 and 9. 0.1 for amplitude and 9 for period. You can also see this in the Blender file if you go through and look at these. You'll see exactly that. Same deal here. We'll select that. Elastic. 0.9 and 1. Oh, that's crazy. Why is that so crazy? Is it just normalize? That's weird. It's actually really weird. Oh. It's so intense that it's just doing nothing. What? So yeah, some of these you have to play with. I'll lock those in. Yeah, just go down the line and... Alright, what was that Z at? That was 0.3 and 4. I'm gonna answer your guys' questions here in a sec. See it coming in through chat. So this landing here, select your landing. Now this one is acting a little strange. And it's also not needed because we have this one on the X doing its thing already. Yeah, that's cool. We don't need that one because it's off out of bounds. And then see, for this one, we actually have to make a keyframe, an extra keyframe. It's a good example. So I'll give it the wiggle. And you see how it goes on for a long time? It's like still shaking already by the next move. Just make a keyframe at the next beat synced frame, which is 75. Zero that out. And then now it's working proper. The last thing I did when making these was give the beginning a little bit of extra wiggle as well. So I'd go back in time to frame -15. Let's pull back, and I'm just going to animate. Oh, yo. Let's hide the grid. And I'm just gonna animate it coming forward into frame. Sweet. Now the elastic doesn't like it when you do the same axis camera moves every 15 frames, because if I select this, it's gonna shoot it up to that point immediately. So you kind of have to do these ones by hand when you run into a situation like this. There's also, you can also do, instead of moving the rig, let's undo that. And I'm just going to animate the camera into place instead. So I'll grab the camera, because that'll avoid having us to hand animate that wiggle. So we'll make a keyframe on the camera, move back to -15, move the camera back, hit I. Actually, let's not hit I. Let's hit I down here in the graph editor. Awesome. What? That's weird. Oh, that's rotation. That's why. That's why. Okay, so I do need to hit I on the whole thing then. I'm losing my mind. What's going on? There we go. Yep. And we'll select both of these guys, make sure they're constant, exponential, and we'll grab our Y location. I'll make that elastic. It's not working because there isn't a keyframe in front of it. There's got to be a keyframe in front of it. So I'll go to frame 15. All right, so now we're landing and immediately like the next render, right, the previous render, right, moves forward and then it lands at the beginning of your render, right? So I mean that's it. The camera specs, I'll go over them really quick. You'll notice the first one is timing, right? So it says use the camera speeds below as a guide to pace your custom animation. We just made a fast one together, and it gives you the frames 0, 15, 30, 45, 60, right? You saw me just do that. We can make a normal one next. I'll do like the snappy one or a linear one. Those ones use half the amount of frames, and the slow one uses even less frames. But just to note, if you're choosing slow or normal, don't forget to visualize the missing beats with the rest of your scene. Second thing we did was 90-degree increments only. We're not doing 45 degrees or 18.7 degrees. We're doing 90-degree steps. 0, 90, 180, 270, 360. That 270 and 360 might be a little wild, depending on what you're doing, how fast you're moving. But 90 and 180 look really nice. And then, yeah, you can change the focal length, the camera starting angle, the shutter speed, the depth of field, all that stuff. So that's really it as far as the camera specs go, making your own camera. We can do one that orbits around a central point. You can do one that just pushes forward only. It's just constantly moving forward. You could do one that goes forward, back, forward, back. You can go left, right, left, right, left, right. Up, down, like whatever you guys want to do, you can do. Let's go back to the chat here, because I know that was a lot of technical information for you guys. Okay, so you're assuming the keyframes need to be consistently spaced, all either 15, 30, or 60, and not mix and match during the entirety of the 120 frames. So if I'm understanding you correctly, we have an FAQ that says like, can I mix and match my camera speeds? And the answer is yes. Meaning, we go back to the site and we look at our camera speeds. We just made a fast template together using frames 0, 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, 90. What you can do by mix and match is have like the first half of your camera animation be a normal speed one, right? So you might just do 0, 30, 60 for the first half, And then the second half, you take the fast one takes over. It'd be like 60, 75, 90, 105, 120. So you can do that. You can do slow for the first half, normal for the second quarter, and fast for the third or for the fourth quarter. It sounds very confusing, but it's really not that bad. I'm going to go back through and see. How you guys doing? This is only for people who want to make their own camera, by the way. This is not for everybody. You don't have to do this to enter this challenge. Just pick one of our cameras and run with it if you want. But if you, like, as you are thinking of ideas, you might come up with something that needs you to go down the hallway, turn left, go up through the ventilation system, forward through the air ducts, orbit around a big chamber, look down the elevator, and drop. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you'd have to custom tailor it, and I want to make sure you guys have the resources to do that. So that was the exponential interpolation version. We'll do a normal speed version next in a different interpolation. I'll show you guys. It's a good question. And I don't know if we have this in the FAQs. We might have something similar. Does there have to be camera movements, or can it be something like cuts on beat or an environment transition or something like that? I think do we have an FAQ like this? I know we talked about this. Let me see. Camera, let's see. Visual, do you remember what we decided on that one? I'm looking through the FAQs to see if we have it. I don't think we have this in here. To me, just doing cuts doesn't make sense. I would rather you use the cameras and move. And if you have to cut, like if you're doing like a montage of, if you're doing a montage within a montage, I think that's what it came down to, is like a montage within a montage for your submission. I know we get a lot of, like, we call them two world submissions, where it's all jungle forest and then you enter a portal and then it's like a hellscape. So I know we're going to have some of those. I would rather you just be moving the camera and snapping to different scenes than just pure cuts. Because we want to keep the camera moving through all of this. And I believe if you look at our rules and you look at rule 2 and it says make your own camera, and you want to make your own camera and you want to cut between stuff. The first one is timing. You have to choose camera speed below as a guide to pace your animation. So if you choose slow, right, and these frames here, like, I feel like are pushing you to move the camera in some way on those frames. I'd rather have you have a moving camera than just the static scene that's doing this. Because here's the thing is, like, then it's like, okay, there's no camera. There's no template. So do whatever you want. It's not do whatever you want. It's do whatever you want within these specifications is the idea. But yeah, I guess that's the best answer I can give you at this moment. All right, let's see. Let's make sense of this. So the animations of the elements don't need to strictly have keyframes tied to the steps, but they should be musical, because with tempo, you can have some cool offbeat stuff. So I'm trying to make sense of this question. There's no way for you to predict where the hi-hats are going to be. I mean, you probably can. It's techno music. It's usually it's boots, 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 right? But you're not going to get like triplets and like dotted 16th notes, and you're going to try and animate to that. Like, you can try, but it's definitely not necessary, and it may not come through. Our grounding core keyframes where you're going to be feeling the beat are the frames we have listed in rule 1: 0, 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, etc., etc. If you're hitting that with your camera or the objects in your scene, you're good. You're going to be you're going to be following rule 1, and you're going to be visualizing the beat. If you want to do stuff in between those, like if you want to do something on frame 7.5, go for it. Go for it. Because those frames surrounding that are going to ground your thing. Those are the safety frames. 0, 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, 90, 105, 120. Those are the safety frames. Yeah, that's the idea. So, let's say you choose the slow camera speed, and that's frame 0 slowly moves to frame 60. That's halfway through your render now, and slowly moves to frame 120. You need to be visualizing the beat for frames 15, 30, 45, 75, 90. You want to be visualizing those in between missing beats, which we kind of went over at the beginning of the stream. We looked at the cars render, and we showed how the cars weren't moving to the beat in the bad example and were moving to the beat in the good example. Rule 1, yeah, visualize that beat. Visualize that beat on those frames. It's funny. Markiplier, I know him a little bit, and he had me come over to his place and showed me a cut, and was like, I went over to take a look for like VFX, and he was like, he's good, like, I don't know, like, I want your eye on it. I want to see if like these are up to spec, like. And I looked at it and I was like, dude, these are solid. No notes, man. Like, your team is killing it. You're in good hands. I hadn't seen the movie, like I hadn't seen it from all the way through, but what he showed me, oh my god, that dude went through hell and back in the movie, like physically. It's pretty nuts. Ooh, that could be kind of cool. Yeah, that could be fun. Just make sure you're sticking to those 90-degree snaps, though. Like, you could be going 45 degrees to 45 degrees and, like, snapping to the beat or something. Yes. All right. Let's make a normal speed one. And I'll give you guys an example here. Let's get rid of the grid. I'll delete this camera. And this, the empty, let's hide the grid for a sec. We'll make a new one, make a new camera, Shift A. I set it always 90 degrees and 24, focal length of 24. And let's keep this one simple. I'm not going to add the orbit this time. We'll do a snappy one here. And actually, let's try the swinging thing. Let's try the swinging thing. So I would do, let's add that empty. Let's move the empty up to here, and we'll parent these. Right, so then now this is kind of swinging, right? Like this. And we could start at, so we did say camera's initial rotation can be set however you'd like. So we can do 45 here, and we'll make a keyframe, and we'll go to frame 30 because we're doing a normal speed one. We'll go -90, back to 60, 90, and 120. Right, so we have all of our keyframes here. We'll get rid of all the frames. We're not moving on location. We're just rotating here. Okay. And I guess what I do is, like, we're looking at our grid, or even our cube. All right, that might make you sick. Let's see what we can do. So I'll just start playing with these keyframes. But this one wants to, what is it? Three, I believe. Yeah. And what does that look like? Whoa, whoa. Not what I imagined. Let's see. Okay, maybe like this. Yeah, like this. Hey! Yeah, something like that. Now we have these frames in here, these middle frames. So you could have this cube pulse on those frames. So we'll do like frame 15. Let's do like frame, yeah, we'll go frame 10. And 45 wants the pulse. And 75 wants to pulse. And 105 wants to pulse. We'll hit those frames and scale it up. So yeah, I mean, that looks ridiculous. But you see how I'm doing the normal camera animation, normal speed camera animation, which is animating on frames 0, 30, 60, 90, and 120. And I'm filling in those missing on-beat keyframes with my scene. So my scene is reacting to the music on frame 15, 45, 75, and 105, right? It's just an example of, if I didn't have this cube pulsing, it wouldn't be doing the best job of visualizing the beat. There'd be some missing beats, you know what I mean? All right, let's see. You guys got any questions? How's everyone doing? Are people getting an idea here of this challenge? Not an idea like, creatively, but like, is this making sense to you guys, these rules and what we're asking you guys to do? Does the challenge make sense? I hope so. Yes, there are many possibilities. Many, many possibilities indeed. Wait, it's clear. Okay, excited. Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay, good. Good. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Yeah, pretty much. Mac Daffy, my God, it's been a minute. Good to see you, sir. There's no preference in judging. It all comes down to like what looks and feels awesome and how you execute it. Yeah, it can all be great. It can all be great. I don't think we're going to, if you have a high tier abstract render and a high tier non-abstract render, they can both fit together in this challenge. So we don't have favorites. I mean, we do. Obviously, top 100. You know what I'm saying. No, your objects in the scene don't have to rotate. They don't have to rotate 90 degrees. This is only for camera, so when we're talking 90-degree snaps, we're talking for camera animation only, not your scene animation. We're talking only camera animation. No, I mean, the evaluation process is usually always the same. We get all the submissions on the deadline, we download them, we go through them together, the mods and admins. It's a good old time. We pull our favorites, we pull a top 200, we take that top 200 and whittle down to top 100, and then we send that to the judges. The judges pick their top 10, 15-ish individually. We come together and whittle down everyone's top 10, 15 to a top 5 over a couple hours of back and forth debate. So yeah, the process is always the same. How long does it take to judge all of the submissions roughly? So usually we get upwards of like 2,000 submissions to K+. And if you run that, it takes, if you just hit play on 2,000 submissions, these are 5-second submissions. I mean, you've seen the all renders montages. It's 4 to 5 hours if you just hit play and stare at the screen. So it takes us like probably a good 3 days to get through everything and do everything justice. And we do them justice. We go back and forth on stuff. Oh, did we miss anything? Did we forget anything? Visuals, going back through all the all renders, doing last minute sweeps, like scouring for any little nuggets. Did we forget anybody? So we take it pretty darn seriously. We have usually anywhere from, try and have the most amount of people as possible when we're watching these things, between the mods and admins. So upwards of 8 people ish watching this. And if anyone, like the way we do it is like, if anyone says they like it, then we put it up on the timeline. So we have different tastes, different vibes, different perspectives, all looking at these renders. So yeah, it usually takes about 3 days to pull the top 100. And then from there, it takes another day or so with the judges to determine the top 5. Fabricio, what's up, dude? Oh man, I got you right here on my desk. Let's see, it's a dark picture, but it's Camp Mograph. It's myself, Fabricio, David Malore, who won 4th place in Endless Engines, and Sam, who won 5th place in Endless Engines. Yeah, that's 1st place, 5th place, and 4th place at Camp Mograph. Good times, man. Dude, Fabricio, I was going through those pictures, Camp Mograph pictures to pull for the announcement video, and I started tearing up, dude. Those are some good times, man. God dang. Camp is at the same camp, by the way, in Colorado. If you're interested in coming out again. But yeah, what's up, Fabricio? Good to see you. I saw your message on Discord. I was just crunching on that edit. I'll take a look. He just finished a short film or something. Pretty sick. I mean, dude, Camp Mograph is the best. It's my favorite thing ever. I go to it every year. It's such a good. I love the people there. Really, I'm there for the people, not as much the workshops. But the workshops are sick. I've taught 2 of them. I've gone to a handful of them. But at this point, the last thing is the people. Love them. It's really hard to do that because there's just so many people. And if we were to do like one-on-one consultation with everybody, it'd take a month. It'd take a full staff of everybody sitting you down and being like, here's why you didn't win. It wouldn't be a good vibe, but like, I know Visual after the challenges has gone in and given feedback to everybody who are wanting feedback on their stuff, and that's like just him offering his time you know, and trying to help you guys out and give you guys advice, but it's difficult to go in individually. It's just too much. I don't know, time in the day. If I had 100 different versions of me, then yeah, we'd be doing it, but we just don't have the bandwidth and the support for that. Folio, yep, he's saying if you make a feedback thread on your Discord, the mods do give some feedback after the challenges. Shoutouts to him. Can we use the doors example render scene as a base, exactly as is, or should we work via the camera templates? I mean, we don't. If you want to make your own camera animation that just pushes forward, then yeah, go for it. I mean, that's kind of why the example renders are there. We don't provide that one in our provided camera animations, but that's why Rule 2 says to also make your own if you want. This is the first time that we've opened up the template and allowed you guys to make your own. You know, it gets more technical if you want to tackle that. I wouldn't get discouraged if it's so technical. You're like, oh, if I don't make my own camera, then I'm not going to win. And making your own camera seems really challenging and difficult. Like, no, not at all. Just use the templates. That's why they're there. It's not that like because someone makes their own camera animation that they're gonna win automatically. Like, not at all. What we kind of wanted to do with the make your own thing is like, it's as if you took all of the camera templates that we gave you and you just changed the seed on it, or you iterated it, and instead of it going left, right, up, down, right, right, it's going down, 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 right, right, orbit, orbit. That's it, really. It's like you just changed the seed on it. I wish we could have made a camera system like that. That would have been sick. You click the button and it randomly generates a new one. Or you choose your speed, or you choose what frames you want, and then you say up on the z-axis, orbit on the x, move negative y, and it just plugs it in and spits it out. Like, that'd be sick. And it's probably possible with GeoNodes, but I ain't on that level. Nope. Hey Brian, thanks for your patience, man. Yeah, I wanted to get those C4D templates out sooner. So the story with the C4D templates, I didn't get access to C4D until like 2 days ago, and by then I had so much work to do on the edit, and this is 100% my fault, guys. But I want to get you the other 6 cameras in C4D as soon as possible, like early next week. You can use those FBXs and try and import them. I was getting some errors. I just needed more time to go through and like crush some bugs. You know, I didn't have time with everything else, editing this video and you seeing the other templates and everything. So that's totally my bad, guys. I'm sorry. But we'll get you that nice C4D template ASAP. For now, you have those 3 cameras in C4D, and you can start thinking about your ideas and stuff. Especially if you want to make your own, then you'll make your own anyway. But yeah. How comfortable am I with Blender? I'm pretty comfortable. I'm comfortable enough to make the templates in Blender. You know, feeling good. Did the donut tutorial. That was awesome. Did the chair tutorial. Made a whole bunch of daily renders on our Discord server for Folio's suit up challenge. That was fun. That was my crucible. Yeah, and the templates are kind of like my second project in Blender. and Dream Sequence will be my third project. So I'm loving it. I love it a lot. No, read the camera specs. Just read the camera specs. You can't do whatever you want. You cannot film a short film where people are jumping to the beat. You got to read the camera specs. What do you guys want to do here? Do we want to make another custom camera animation together? Like, should we do a linear one? I'll show you how I'm doing my linear ones. Or do you want to see the Unreal side of things? I can show you the Touch Designer. How about that? Let's do that. Let's go into some other software. So we got a Touch Designer file. Shout outs, by the way, to Jarrett over at Derivative. My God, what a champ. That dude helped so much. He made this Touch Designer template and he was working around the clock to make this thing. I know a lot of you, Touch Designer is new for a lot of you guys. And, you know, it's going to look confusing probably at first. But for those of you who know Touch Designer and want to learn Touch Designer, this is a great way to get started. Derivative, who makes Touch Designer, is giving you guys Touch Designer commercial, I believe, free for the month. That means you can export at higher resolutions. So Monte, if we want to switch over, you can show them the Touch Designer file here. But yeah, you guys can export at different resolutions now, not just 1280p, because for our challenge, we need HD submissions, or 4K ones are also acceptable. But yeah, you hit play on this thing and it's moving through the templates. Let's give you guys the tour. So this won't be a here's how to learn Touch Designer segment right now, but this will just be for people who have an idea of Touch Designer or are curious. I'm gonna show you where things are at. Obviously we have our rules here. Okay. I hit play down here, right? Spacebar, classic. We got our 3D viewer down here, so we can orbit around and kind of see our camera doing its thing down here, right? And this is our top viewer. So what if we want to change the camera template that we're working with? Well, what you can do, so we're in this, if you're in After Effects, it's like pre-comps, right? So we're gonna hit U and go up a layer, and we have this like master node. And we, in this little custom tab, we can select our different camera templates here. Jarrett built this thing so well. It's just tuned perfectly. Yep. It's our snappy and snappy fast. All the templates are here. And we also have these options. So the reference grid, we can turn it on and off. There's a reference box. We can turn that on and off as well. We're going to go back in. You can double click or hit I. You can also get to that by right clicking up here in this parent component and going to parameters, and you can get the same options here, right? What else? What else? So for Touch Designer users, you guys are going to do all of your like post effects after the render top right here, in between these two nodes. And if you want to add geometry, you can add whatever geometry you want and it'll appear in your scene, right? All this stuff you can hook up and have it be audio reactive. Now, changing the resolution. The default resolution is 1920 by 1080, and you're gonna change the resolution in the render top here. So you can set this to 3840 by 2160 if you want. And when you go to film, when you go to record, let's turn that back to 1080. We'll go to the recorder. And if you go to the output settings, literally all you have to do is hit start record. It's going to go off of real time. So it captures all the frames, and we'll hit stop, and it will make a folder. And dialogue, you go dialogue, Explorer. It'll go to our project root here. And it made this little video here. You would take this video and bring it into an editor like DaVinci, trim it up, and export your submittable piece of art. The reason it's different in Touch Designer is just because Touch Designer is a different beast. It's a different program. It's more of a always running, always live kind of vibe. And if we have it resynced 120 frames every time, you never get the chance to like let your feedback loops feedback and explore all these different vibes and everything. I guess it makes sense to Touch Designer users, and it's built for Touch Designer users and how those artists would make art in Touch Designer. So we felt that was the best way to go. What else? Yeah, I mean, you can go to the codec and you can change. You can go 444 XQ. You can go 12-bit. Get the highest quality file possible. And yeah, I mean that's pretty much it on this. Everything else you can build out and do whatever you want in Touch Designer. So very fun, very, very fun. Thank you, Jarrett, for making this. My God, what a G, what a champ. Dude was up late, hopping on calls with me, like helping me with all the notes that I had. You know, thank you, dude. Thank you for building this out. And shout outs to Greg for even being down for this. Like, that's so cool that like you're open to doing something like this. This is new territory for both of us. So we're hoping to get some cool Touch Designer vibes in this challenge. So yeah, shout outs. So that's Touch Designer. I can show you guys Unreal Engine. Let's open up Unreal. It's gonna be the same story. I'll just give you guys the tour, the house tour. $8K it is, yes. 8K submissions. Nothing less than 8K submissions, guys. So what exactly is Touch Designer? Touch Designer, from how I would describe Touch Designer, is in its simplest terms, it's a program that lets you sync your visual art to other outside sources. And the best example of it is like if you go to a concert and you see a bunch of background visuals, like trippy visuals that are reacting to the music in real time, that's going to be Touch Designer. They're running Touch Designer, and they have a bunch of 3D scenes that are hooked up to the MIDI triggers that are hooked up to like all the different microphones on the guitars and the drums, and it's changing parameters of your art in real time. So that's what Touch Designer does. I made a tutorial with it last year. And a couple of projects, I used it to make visuals for a Tekken DJ mix by DDCo, a YouTuber, DDCo, the video game music DJ. And he did the music for Rampage Rally. That's actually why he did the music, is because I did the Tekken project, and then he did the Rampage Rally music. And I used Touch Designer for that, and it was the best. And it's all because I was not feeling inspired with my visual art, with my 3D stuff. And I found myself like procrastinating from my visual art and going to music, because that at the time, and still is, a very freeing, it's a place for me to be creative with no stakes. It's very fun. I get lost in it. And I got really into the music side of things for like 2 years, going on 2.5 years now. And I got to the point where I was like, you know what is missing right now is a visual element to all of this. And I was like, you know, what'd be so sick is if like I could be like hitting notes on the piano and hitting beats on the drums, right? But then the music would be reacting, or the visuals rather, would be reacting in real time to what I'm playing. That would be the ultimate jam setup. And I didn't know what anything was at that time. And I did some digging, and actually some guys from Camp MoGraph were super into Touch Designer. And they told me Touch Designer is what you need. And I was like, what is Touch Designer? So I looked into it, and it blew my mind. And I was like, I have to learn this. And so that's why I did the Tekken thing, the Tekken DJ mix for DDCO, was to learn Touch Designer. Because I need a reason to learn something. I can't just learn something because I want to learn something. Like, I have to have a project to do it with a deadline, which is why these challenges are awesome, because it's a reason to do something with a deadline, with a community of people. So it really helps like motivate, right? But that's what it was for me. I was like, I'm tired of the visuals I'm making. I'm gonna go make music. I made enough music that I was like, this needs visuals, not the kind that I usually make. I need something new. So then I found Touch Designer, and I've been using it for a little less than a year, and it's so cool. Now, you know, got to meet the founder, Greg, and he was in the chat here, probably still is in the chat. And another one of the people who left Side Effects to follow Greg was Jarrett, I believe another one of the co-founders. And he built the Touch Designer template. I'm like, what? That's crazy. These dudes are on another level. So yeah, it's cool to have them on this challenge. I love it. All right. Let's see. Thank you, Dystopian Noise. I appreciate you. Thank you, my friend. All right, let's open Unreal Engine, Sotomonte. Yes. Now I have to get used to, I got Touch Designer controls, Blender controls, Cinema 4D controls, and now I got Unreal controls. There we go. Okay. I'm in. Boom, you got the rules. And what do we got? Folder structure. Okay, it opens up to this level by default. We got the rules up here, we got the reference grid, and we got lighting. Maps, yep. Dream sequence template, main, don't even worry about it. Mesh, we just have this grid, imported grid. We got render settings for you guys, proxy, HD, and 4K when it's time to render. And sequences, that's what you're gonna want for Unreal. We got these sequences down here. And you just double click it, and you hop into the camera and hit play, and boom, we're in. I had a heck of a time importing the FBXs from Blender, which is where we call it the mother template. It's like the original template. Importing them into other programs is just crazy. Each program has their own way to import, their own way to export FBXs from Blender. It's like, it's nuts. But I think it was Sir Wade who turned visual onto better FBX exporter, and then Visual told me about it, and it just solved all our problems. So yeah, we got templates in Unreal. all the different templates. Oh, that was weird. What? What? Oh, hold on. What? That wasn't there before. Oh, cursed. What the frick? Hold on. No, that's crazy. Okay, that one's fine. Now I'm terrified. I'm absolutely terrified. Oh man. I did this. I checked it all. That's weird. That's weird. Maybe it's because this is... Oh, that is why. So originally I had this lock to display rate at runtime button checked, because I thought it was supposed to be checked. And now when I uncheck it, it's giving me some crazy little glitches there. That's good to know. That's good to know. I didn't think that would happen. It's interesting because these are 30 FPS sequences. Weird, okay. This will definitely be an update on like Monday, Tuesday, early next week. We'll have an update on this. But that's how it goes, y'all. There's always little things. I think if this was the first challenge, I'd be stressed out and be like, oh no! But it's all good. Yeah. Okay, little snappy bugs to fix. We'll get there. We'll get there, y'all. I'm gonna make a note though. I don't want to forget that. Sweet. Sweet. See, when you launch, it ain't done. You gotta keep supporting. Well, I don't know. I don't know what the point is, why I said that, but the work goes on. The work continues. It's all good. We'll get it fixed for you guys. But yeah, I mean, that's the Unreal template. Pretty darn straightforward, y'all. Yeah, let's get out of this camera. Yeah, I think Unreal will be a good one. I know that you can actually combine Touch Designer and Unreal Engine. So you can have things from Touch Designer driving attributes and assets in Unreal Engine, which is my next goal. That's like the ultimate move. Try and get that side of things figured out. I wonder if you could do it with Blender too. Like, I don't see why you couldn't, but it just comes down to if Touch Designer has support for that. So Artem, I think what you're asking is, can you make a normal speed camera? And like, yeah, absolutely. That's like in camera specs. That's exactly correct. I think if I'm reading it right, 0, 30, 60, 90, 120. Yep. You'll want to visualize the beat on those missing frames though. 15, 45, 75, 105. Yeah, I think those are the in-betweens. In your scene, specifically in your scene, like if you're gonna have your camera be at normal speed, you just kind of have to fill out, visualize the beat in your scene with your objects in your scene or something. Oh, okay. You're re-clarifying. So yeah, you're talking about doing a normal speed for the first half and a fast speed for the second half, or something like that. Fast speed for the third quarter and back to normal speed. Yeah, that's fine. You can go boom, 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 boom. Hold on, that doesn't make any sense. It'd be 1, 2, and 3, 4. Yeah, that'd be fine. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. You can switch between. I think that's what Artem is asking. It's fine to switch between camera speeds in the camera animation, since they're on the same tempo. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna make an example of that right now. Let's do that because that's a good one. Okay, wait, I have to recalibrate my brain. I am not in Unreal Engine anymore. Oh boy. Okay, I'm in. All right, let's delete this. Our camera. Yeah, okay. So you could do like this. Let's do normal speed for the first half. And we'll push the camera forward. And we'll go up. And then we can do, we'll go fast speed for the second half. Bring the grid in. Make all of these exponential because it looks cool. And yeah, like that. If you want to do that, that's totally fine. But ideally you have something in your scene filling in these gaps. So you would have like, let's just put a anything out here, and we'll do, I don't know, something here, and frame 15 scales up, and I don't know why I undid that, because that's exactly what I wanted to do. Frame 15 scales up, and then frame 43, we make another keyframe, and then scale it back down. And we'll give it some wiggle, because it looks nice. Both of those. 1 and 9. And then, yeah, so now you'll have something like this. Three, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So the beat is being visualized on all frames still, even though your camera's moving at that normal speed for the first half. Hopefully that makes sense for you guys, yeah? Cool. Cool. All right, Ronan, you're answering someone. Is the interpolation between frames can be changed? Yes, they can. They can. So you can do a linear one. We can take the camera and we can... oh, here's what I'm doing for Snappy, by the way. For Snappy, it's just... And by the way, let me define Snappy. We have 3 different interpolation styles with the camera. You'll see exponential fast, you'll see linear fast, and you'll see snappy fast. So exponential fast is looking like this. Linear fast is looking like this. And snappy fast is looking like this. So snappy fast and exponential fast are using the same interpolation method. It's just scooted up in time a little bit. Let me show you. So for this camera here that we just made, let me get rid of this. Yeah. So we're still using exponential interpolation, right? But for Snappy, all I'm doing is moving it up by a third. So in this case, we're going frame 0 to 30, right? Frame 0 to 30. I'm just scooting this keyframe up. What is it? X. Yeah, I'm just scooting this keyframe up to frame 20. So it's like, yep. Right, same for this. Let's see. These ones are going... Hold on. I'm saying a lot of things at once. Yeah, I'm basically taking it from its end point or its start point and moving it up by 2/3. So the keyframe that was at frame 0 is now at frame 20. And we're animating frame 20 to frame 30. And then for the fast cameras, we're animating every 15 frames, right? So I'm just moving it up 10 frames. That's it. Move this up 10 frames, move this up 10 frames, move these up 10 frames. And that is how we're doing Snappy. And then of course you'll want to add your wiggle, your elastic. Right? And that only works when it has a keyframe somewhere out in space in front of it. If there's no keyframe in front of it, it won't do the wiggle thingy. All right, so I'll wiggle this up. So here, yeah, we got that keyframe out in front. Elastic. Same here. Elastic. The keyframe is out in front, so it's going to work. Got to get this guy. Elastic 0.1 and 9. And remember to yeah, that feels great. The beginning feels very static, like if it's just sitting there. Ideally, what you're doing is you're moving your camera into that 0 position, right? So I'll show you that one more time. That way, like when the render before yours is moving fast up into your render, right? It's going to cut. So it's going to be like swoosh. And if it just lands on static nothing, it's kind of lame. Like we want that energy to carry through all the renders. So yeah, what I'm doing is I'm just throwing some negative animation on this keyframe so that when we pop in, it's already moving. Let me find the axis. It'll be the Y location. Make a keyframe on the Y location and move it back like negative 15 frames. We'll scoot this back. And then now we can hit a little bit of elastic on that guy so that when we land the first frame, it's like we just moved into that point from the previous render. You know what I mean? And you can feel the beat, even though there's no music. You're just looking at it, so. Celeste, you are looking at a camera that is doing just that. It's going from normal to fast. So yeah, you can change it from slow to fast. Soto, I don't know if the like clicking the, oh, there it is, yep. Oh, thank you, my friend. Sotomonte's on it. Can you change the focal length during the animation? Absolutely. What would that look like? Let's find out. So let's grab our camera and the focal length. What do we want to do? Boom. And maybe once it starts moving fast, we'll start animating the focal length. So we'll go keyframe there, keyframe here. We'll go to 16 mil. Right, so it opens up 16 mil. And then maybe at the top it's like 50. And then it hits like, when we get to the 30, it goes to 24. And I'll set all these guys to be constant and exponential. Zoom, zoom. Yeah, I think it could look cool. MDK, is this the MDK? It is the MDK. Yeah, you have admin status on the chat. MDK 2K, he leveled up. Ladies and gentlemen. MDK 2.0. Even the focal length can be changed, yes. It's crazy. Before we're like, don't touch the focal length, don't touch the camera. Now we're like, okay, do that. We'll see how you guys handle it. We might get like 300 short films submitted. We'll see. Where's the playlist I mentioned in the video? Let me... Oh, so basically the only place where it's at, where it's at right now is in the starter files. If you download those, it's in the resources music folder. It's also on the Discord in the get started, dream sequence get started FAQs. You'll see them there. The YouTube playlist and the Spotify playlist. What else do you guys want to try out? Probably hang out for another 20 minutes or so, and then we'll get some food. Tom, okay, so you're saying like we kind of had this question just phrased differently. Can the scene be different each time the camera flips, or the 3D scene must stay consistent? So we have people do these like 2 world renders where they go from a forest to a jungle, or from a forest to a jungle. Yes, and that's kind of like changing scenes, but they do it through like a portal. They do it through a cool 3D transition. It's not just like cutting to different footage. So try to incorporate all your scenes together. Try to mix your scenes together. There was a guy, Pedro, 5th place, I believe, Kinetic Rush, and he had his character diving through all of these different worlds. I think he had 3 worlds in his thing. It's the first time we've ever seen a 3 world render that won too, right? And he had elements of all of the different worlds like flowing into the other worlds. Like, it was very well done. So I think just cutting from one thing to another is it's a way to do it, but there's cooler ways to do it, which incorporate your 3D software. So yeah, I don't know. Okay, I'll send the Spotify playlist. Hold on. I'm just gonna pin it this time. There's a Spotify one as well, but I'm just gonna drop the YouTube one. And then for some reason I can't pin the chat right now. It's just might be my settings. Could one of the mods pin that for me, please? Thank you. If you submit template as your render, shoot, probably be deleted. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. Brian LP number 1. Yeah, weekly winners. I'll probably announce them on the next stream. I'm behind on those right now. The challenge prep had all my bandwidth, so yeah, I'll get those for you guys next stream for sure. Thanks for your patience, my friend. When will the playlist be uploaded? It's right there. It's pinned at the top of the chat. Get it. Ooh, does the camera have to be in perspective mode as opposed to orthographic? Hold on, let me change. This actually looks like a top-down 2D situation. I think this would look better if it was at a 45. I'd say, yeah, orthographic is probably pretty chill. You would just need an initial angle on it. So we'd probably, what's the best way to do this? Let me take this camera. Let's put it inside of an empty. And we'll take the camera and put it in this empty, and we'll take this empty and we'll just rotate it. Oh wait, what? Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Or did I? Hold on. I totally did. Yes, let's take this empty and we'll rotate on the Z and the local X. So we're kind of like looking like down like this. Okay, so you can't tell when we're moving like forward and back. I'd probably want to like play with this a little bit, but I could totally see like an isometric like video game level, and we're just moving in the XY positions around this level and like rotating the camera. I think that could be cool, definitely. Let's see. Open this up. Whoa. Yeah, that could be fun. Yes. Yeah, I agree. It's what I did for my Mega Man animations. That was like the first touch designer project I did, was this Mega Man thing. I'll show you guys. Let's see. Mega Man. This one. And this was all controlled with this. So I had these knobs. This was part of the touch designer tutorial I made. You guys can find that video on the channel. I don't know if you can hear this, but anyway, these knobs I had controlling the visuals. So you see how it's like crazy right now? I think I dial them in a second. Yeah, I had the laptop running. And then yeah, see I am turning these knobs and chilling out the visuals. So I have these parameters mapped to these MIDI knobs. But yeah, did you guys ever play Mega Man Battle Network? Those games are the best. Yeah, so that was the first touch designer project I did to try and actualize that idea I had when I was talking about, you know, I need some cool visuals that can go to the music I'm making. And yeah, it was exactly that. It was isometric cubes, and it looks awesome. It looks super sick. Nah, you don't need to make any music. This is not a music challenge. This is a visual art challenge. So yeah, you don't even have to submit with music. We have those example songs which you can use to help you with your art, but it's the only way it helps you is just like the visuals are half the thing, right? When you put it with music, it's a whole new world. So that's why we have those tracks, those loopable tracks that Brooks gave you guys, so that you can see your art in context with some music. But no, we don't expect you to make music. If you just look at the rules, like there's no, you may have to make a song or anything like that, you know? Puppet and prop Yes, plane tickets are covered. I'm covering it out of my pocket for you guys. Camp is providing the ticket, and then I got you with the plane, with the airfare. So you don't have to pay anything. We got you. We got you on that. Yeah, we had Fabricio one year at camp. He flew out from Brazil. And we also had Luigi from South America. Oh, I failed you, Luigi. I failed you. You're up in there. You're up in that top right corner. Yeah, I mean, we've had people from the US as well, so it's open, man. It's open. Oh my goodness. Yes. I'm learning how to do that now. I am so excited about it. I'm having a blast. I want to make a game in Unreal Engine so badly. After this challenge, I can kind of go back in that direction and start putting more points into that. I've been taking a game course. I'm almost through the game course. I'm on the 3rd game, and it's so much fun. Maybe I'll try and make a game element to this. I want to combine all my hobbies. The music side of things, the interactive art side of things, the game side of things. Like, I want to do it all. It just takes a while to learn. Like that, if I'm following my own advice, it's don't bite off more than you can chew. Make something that works toward or works for you. How do I say this in a better way? Make something that works toward your strengths. Lean into your strengths. Don't lean into your weaknesses. If you're going to learn new stuff during this month for this challenge, and you want to get through the month and submit something and have a chance at getting in top 100, my best advice to you is don't have the thing you're learning be crucial to you submitting your art. Like, have that learning side of things be like 25%, not to say if you don't know anything about anything, like, use this challenge to learn the whole time and submit something. Like, if you just need to submit some cubes moving in some spheres and you learn how to use Blender during this challenge or Touch Designer, then that's a huge win. But like, if you're, somewhat into this and you've been doing it for a year, 2 or 3, use all those skills you have directed right to the challenge and learn 25% of your time, learn something new along the way. So yeah, if I were to incorporate the video game side of things into this, that'd be 100% of my time is learning how to make a video game as opposed to playing to my strengths. Yeah. All right, guys. I think that might be it. I am feeling it in my voice here. I need some food. I need some water. And we're almost at 3 hours. Guys, thank you for hopping into this. I'm freaking amped to see what you guys make. This is uncharted grounds for us right now. We're in a new not side challenge, but we're just in a different style of challenge. It's a bit more technical, but I think if you guys get it, it looks like you guys get it. The payoff, I think, will be tenfold. I think it's going to be really cool. These final montages are going to be awesome. We'll be updating any bugs or glitches or whatever on the project files as soon as possible. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're going to get you guys with some stuff. Monday is basically, I'm going to be squashing bugs all day Monday. Dive into the Discord, please do. If you're not on the Discord, get up in there. We think it's a great place for you guys to get help and get inspired by your fellow artist. I'll be taking a look at your not your submissions, but your works in progress. We have a place for you to post your works in progress there. It'll be cool. It'll be really cool. I'll be pulling those works in progress too and sending them to Brooks, the musician. And that's going to help him make the music throughout this month as well. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm freaking amped for this. I can't wait to make something. Guys, thank you. I don't know what else to say. I'm excited this is launched. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. All right, guys, any last minute questions? Is it possible to get unbanned from Discord? Banned for hacked invite link. I don't know. What's the best way to do that? I don't know. Send me an email. It's on my YouTube homepage. I'll see what I can do. Gage, thank you, my friend. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, guys. All right, y'all. Good luck. Have fun. Peace out, y'all.